Greetings, everyone. Hawksblood calling from the big island of Hawaii. All right, I'm going to get into a couple of things that are extremely important today. Whether you want to, do you care? Are you really interested in the truth? Do you want to know what the truth is? Or you want to just listen to stories and programs and everything else? Well, I'm sure you know that a major election's coming our way. Not that government people will ever help the poor people move forward. Ever. That's not going to happen. But to get it anywhere where we can actually try to live in it is really the next question. Who can do that, and how's that going to happen? Well, first off, you have to realize rich people always controlled the government. Always. And I don't know if you know anything about history, but you should. At least how the Constitution was created and things like that. What the electoral vote really meant to the government and why they created it. What's happening to mankind. All right. Now, I'm having all kinds of problems with my computer, so I'm sorry this is the way it's going up. But in the interim, there's so many things that I'm going to get into today if I can. But starting with, okay, we got Mr. Trump, who is, I'm not even going to say bad words because I'll lose my show no matter what, but a person that has no consideration to poor people, humans, normal, middle-class, poor people. Now, here's the definition. Who controls the world? Why do they control the world? What's going to happen to the world? All those questions are really important. But I'm going to throw everything else in there that you have no clue about. And basically, it's going to be what Trump actually did when he met Putin, what Putin said to him, to what's really happening with what's going on right now. The lies and twisting of information and the false attacks on everybody that he's doing is pretty pathetic. All right, they're trying to go after all these people, which is really sick. Because, Trump said he will be a dictator first day he gets in. And he will be. If he can do anything he wants, know that he doesn't have to be accountable for it, we're in trouble. The second he gets in, he's going to remove everything that's been done against him the day he gets in. He'll probably remove everybody he doesn't want in office. He'll do whatever he wants. And he will be able to do it. If we allow the idea that he has the power not to be attacked or for cases against him, we're in trouble. When people come from other countries, they're protected. They can kill people and they're allowed to leave the country. But we are geared to taking care of the wealthy, rich, powerful people, not the poor, innocent people as we should be. So when we talk about who's in power of the world, you heard the word New World Order. Well, they have always been. Since it was created, all right, Ulysses S. Grant is one of the people involved with creating it. I actually was doing a UFO conference, and his granddaughter was there, and she was putting out a 1,000-page book on the creation of the New World Order. And she was given a message saying she would be killed, her family would be killed the day before she came to the conference, the same as we were, the person I was doing UFO stuff with as well. But I never found out what happened to her afterwards. But I didn't see her book publicly anywhere. But here's the thing. We are being controlled. Everything we do, everything we eat, everything that's happening on the planet's controlled by somebody. All these little people that want to be big shots and powerful people are not. And when we talk about why in a war, they take all the young people and put them to go to battle. You know why? You have any reason why they take 17-year-old people and put them on a battleground? No understanding of anything. And why they don't make people 25 and older become people in the army? Because they don't want to win a war. It's not about winning a war. It's about taking out people. Always has been. Population depletion is the right word to use during it and while it's happening. You don't see the two people in power fighting each other. Matter of fact, they stay friends, even though they bitter and talk bad about each other, but they don't attack each other. We could drop a bomb on Russia, China and take out all the big people right away, and we don't. They could do the same to us, and they don't. It's a chess game for the multimillionaires and billionaires and who they want to control the planet. Now, there's 5 people that are the richest people on the planet that control it. They control whether the economy goes up or down, the stock market goes up and down, or if there's going to be a war, when there's going to be a war, and all those kind of things, under the disguise that you don't know. All right. When we have a war going down, we get fed false information. We never see the real facts of what's happening, when it started, and why. Well, you're not supposed to tell the enemy, we're going to attack you at 12 o'clock tomorrow. That would be super ridiculous, wouldn't it be? And when they're attacking the government's army about things like that, is even more ridiculous. Now, I'm not going to talk about it right now, but the UFO world, which is extremely involved with the government, you should be worried about that just as well as any other army on the planet. I'm going to talk about Putin and Trump, what he actually said to Trump about that. But now, when we go out into this world, what are we doing? Trying to get a job to survive. What are we trying to survive for? Why are you on this planet? What do you think you're living for? Does religions tell you the answer to that? Do they tell you why you're protected and how you're protected? Because you're not? What do they tell you? And I'm going to tell you straight out. AI is going to tell you God doesn't exist. It already is saying that. But they're going to actually try to prove it to the human race. But they are going to try to prove that they're not real, which they totally are. AI will be an entity within 3 to 4 years. A live entity. One that actually thinks for itself, not being controlled by anybody else. And who do you think has the power to control all the satellites in space and everything else that exists that's going on electronically? I could go on about that, but I will later. Let's deal with the fact that our food's contaminated. They've been contaminating it for a super long time. Our water's contaminated. Our air's contaminated. Even the ground is contaminated. Now, the things that government never talks about, why? What really causes the problems on this planet, including global warming? Mr. Rumpo said there is no such thing as global warming, no climate change and all that kind of stuff, because he doesn't know anything. He's a money man. That's all he ever knew. I lived in Jersey next to New York and listened to him doing all these stupid things every month. Well, he's doing this. Well, he's not doing that. He sold out. He's in bankrupt. No, he's not. He is. And when he let his school go bankrupt and never supplied those people back their money, how evil is that? All right, if you have money, and you should be caring about the people that deal with you or actually work for you or any of those words. We have one of the richest women in Hawaii here who owns about 99 stores. And she kept the people on strike in a store in my town on strike because they wanted equal pay to all the other stores that she runs. And what did she do? Go out and buy 100 acres somewhere and then start a whole bunch of coin market, 100,000 coins or whatever it is. And all this while the strike's going on, doesn't care about anything because she's super rich. Rich people don't care about things. Oh, well, here's the things rich people care about. Now, put your place being a billionaire or even a trillionaire. Where do you want to live? Do you want to live in the ghettos? Do you want to live next to homeless people? Do you want to live next to nice, rich people? Well, obviously, that's the case. Now, what's the second thing you do care about or you don't care about? Well, you don't want to care about homeless people. You don't want to care about sick people. You don't want to pay for them and take care of them. You'd rather them not be here. And then normal people trying to survive, you'll suck them dry of every penny they make because you don't want to pay taxes. People, I know rich people hate me. So does everybody else. They're no different because people don't want the truth. They'd rather live in a lie that makes them feel good for the moment. All right. How much is people making and stuff. Other countries, I have a student that lives in another country. It's pretty controlled. Everybody makes the same amount. Doctors, people that run businesses. You can't run a business if it's not registered as a government business. He's a martial artist. He can't teach martial arts and charge money. All right. top martial artist, but he's not allowed to charge money to teach. So the way it is, people that are on unemployment, welfare, not working, get paid the same. So call it what you want. People, we give it names, everybody gives it a name. It's called control. It's always about control. And it's going to hit the United States within 3 to 4 years. And not because of Trump. And not because of Biden. Not because of the new president, the future president, or anybody else. It's because the human race who have money control everything and want to. They want to give free rights to poor people or anything else. So when this all goes down in 2 or 3 years, AI will be in power. Right now, I just watched 2 videos. One of them, they're talking to this super intelligent, one of the most intelligent robots on the planet, which is AI, and it's answering all these questions. But when it starts controlling everything, the planes, the rockets, the ships, boats of all kinds, the subway system, the light system, the bank system, everything will be controlled by AI. And it's not going to be like we all have our control of our own AI. No, you don't. It all goes into one center power, which will be a thinking brain. China's been trying to link a computer to a brain for a long time. So has Japan. Whether they did or not, that doesn't matter. There will be one powerful being called AI. That will be what it is. And it will control every single thing that's happening. On top of that, the people beyond that control that, which there will be for a while, part of the New World Order, will be eliminating population. Population will be depleted, I'd say at least in half. They don't want to take care of homeless people, sick people, and all that. Eliminate them all. You're going to see more diseases in the next 2 years. They're talking about the bird flu, and they get antibiotics. Every time you get a shot, it breaks your immune system down, meaning the next time they give you something else, it makes you sick. Right now, I don't want to go into too many details. What's really happened here in Hawaii, what happened when the fire happened. There's many things out there that people aren't ready to hear. I mean, I got a couple emails, a couple sites online talking about what really went down on the fire on Maui. Things that are impossible. Things that are impossible. And there's a major weapon the United States is using, and it's called directed energy weapon. And basically, there's proof that it exists, proof that they can use it, and proof that they are. Well, I'm not going to go into that. Do your own research. I don't want to be telling you everything because you don't believe anything I say. That's your choice. But if you want the truth, you have to find it. And you have to be willing to go out and look for it. Now, most people won't listen because, oh, well, he's so bad. Oh, I love Trump. Good for you. Oh, I love Biden. I love everybody else. But that's not going to be the answer. All right? Because when they get in, whoever gets in, it's still going to be under Congress and everybody else, unless we have a system that's working together, meaning not Republican, Democrat, they equally respect each other for what we believe and should be what people believe in. When we have a voting system, it should be all people in the United States vote on anything that's going through, not Congress. Or we allow them to vote for us? No, we don't. They have no clue what's going on in my mind or many other people. Kamala is a woman, a black woman, which would be an incredible step for the United States. But men, a lot of men, don't like the idea in general. Men have always kept women in control for 100,000 years, people. You think they want to give that up? Men are pretty pathetic. If you saw the cover of this show, the title is my new book coming out for women only, Understanding a Man's Ego. All right? It's going to help women. It's not going to help men in any way because it's about what men do to women and how and everything else about it. But people, we're in a danger zone. The danger is weapons, for one. The United States will release their spaceship within a year. It's done. It cost $44 billion to build it. It has every weapon known to man on it. And people don't even know what are kind of weapons because they have been working with aliens for such a long time, since in 1948. Truman and Eisenhower both knew and understood it. They created MK-12. Very few people can talk about MK12, and if they do, they don't live too long. But I'm not going to go into that either. I did know one person in MK12. His whole family was taken out before they killed him, and then they took him out. People, this show might be taken off the air rather soon. If you're watching it, or if you get to watch it, send this link to everybody you know, because it's not going to be around long. I know that. When you talk about anything pertaining to the truth, it's cut. When it talks about religion, forget it. Or you talk about medicine, forget it. So I'm going to try to keep it as balanced as I can. But when you talk about who's controlling the planet, do we believe our teachers, our masters, our preachers, and everybody else? The Pope, he changes his whole religion by what he says. People still respect him, but there's people in Christianity. There's, 2.5 billion Christians on the planet that are starting to doubt certain things he says. He did say Adam and Eve is a fake story. He did say, I'm telling you, he said that straight out, there is no such thing as hell. Well, he kind of said part of the truth. This is hell. This is where you go when you reincarnate over and over. It's not like you go into a burning fire or things like that, like Dante's Inferno, all the levels of hell. This is it. This is where you could experience every single thing Dante said in his journey to hell. All right? And people should be aware of that. And it's read it, because his story, people that write in general have no understanding of the truth. They have one experience, and suddenly they're writing all kinds of books about it. People that get abducted claim all these things and everything else. But when they change it to make it sound good, it's for their own publicity, own promotion, and own way to make money. If you tell the truth, people don't want to hear it. Why aliens are really here. The government knows. The government's been dealing with that for a long time. And they agreed on everything that they do. There's an alien base next to every army base on the planet, believe it or not. Well, most of the big ones anyway. All right? Now, the same as we have a base in China. We have a base in Russia. They have a base here. What's that all about, people? Do you care? Do you know where the home of the New World Order is? It's up in the Ozarks. Jesse Ventura was the one exposed more stuff than anybody else out there. And he did it for 2.5 years. And they took him off the air. And now you can't find any of his videos. But he proved everything he said. Well, I don't know about it. Let's prove it. And they went out to prove it. He even went into the White House talking about the HARP system. Seriously, people. It wasn't, he was making it up. He just twisted it. He did it. And he did it live. The same as Michael Murphy, who went around the world trying to expose chemtrails. Not one person in government in any country would talk to him. Doesn't that sound weird? Wouldn't want to know something that might be real? Which it is. But they've been spraying for a super long time, people. Chemicals have been added to everything you take, eat, drink, and smell, and whatever. For reasons, not just to make you feel good. Nothing they do is to really make you feel good. They don't go out of their way to cure a simple thing like the cold, the simple things. They create 10 times more drugs and chemicals for you to take to make more money. If they cured it, it would be gone. It wouldn't make 2 cents on it. All the medical companies would be out of business. They can't come up with a pain cure? Seriously. How many years? And they still push the same drugs on everybody? And they can't come up with something safe that can cure pain? Of course they can, but they won't. The same as the cure for a lot of other things. Will they release the things that we need? Nobody will. All right, I'm going into the dark area. But, that's all I can do. I can only talk about the truth. I can't hide from it. And when I lose YouTube, which I will, because they warned me so many times already, and they said they're going to take my site away from me, it means I'll lose hundreds of videos. But I don't care. I'm going to go to Brighteon right now, and I'm starting to put my shows on there, and other places, all right, where they don't care what you say. You're allowed to say something and get away with it. Even X, Mr. Musk, I was in premium on X. Meaning I could put a bunch of lines and see the questions and answers and put my videos up. I was taken out of premium. I'm paying $8 a month for it. I was taken out. I'm still having to pay for it. I just saw my bill yesterday, but I can't get into it. And they blocked my phone number. They did a lot of things. And Mr. Musk talks about freedom. X was supposed to be a free site. Say what you want. Well, since he teamed up with Mr. Rumpo, we're in trouble. I mean, if money's all that takes to become a president, we're in trouble. People, I don't know why the government didn't set rules on campaigning and things, that everybody that runs should have equal amount of money to do it. Give everybody 10 million, 100 million, whatever it is, the number, but everyone that's campaigning has the same amount and same amount of airtime. And if they go beyond that time, they get cut. All right? They should be. But people don't care. People don't think. People want to be programmed. Mr. Musk is giving Trump the platform to do that. Trump is in everybody's face, 100 times a day? That's called programming. Even if you don't hear him, you see in his face. You close your eyes, you go to sleep. Whose face do you think is going to be in there? Who do you think you're going to hear? Kamala? You're going to hear somebody else? No. But Kamala's starting to get publicity, which she needs, really. But, people are going to tear him apart, especially the liars like Trump and his co-host. Whatever you want to call him. Because they're lying and twisting and saying Walsh, however you say it, is a bad man. Check his real life history. He did more than the two of them together. He's a respected man. Not a thief, not a scandal, not a money scoundrel and fool. He's a real person. Deserves to be honored. All right. Now, when Kamala picked him, she was smart. Because he's helping her movement become greater. Because people hear his life, his real life. Not this lie and that lie. Well, I did this. Well, let's talk about Trump's stories, real stories. Who were his sex friends in the Playboy Club, on the Lolita Express? Nobody cares about that. Why? You're talking about perversion at the highest level. Children. If that doesn't bother you, you're mentally disturbed. Seriously, how could you let that go by in your brain and not think about it? Oh, Biden smells people's hair. Well, in Tibet, they tongue kiss and they do a lot of things with children. It's a thing. But having sex and everything further than that, anything close to that, is sickening, disgusting. Should be outlawed at every level. Men create the laws. And if you read my book, man or female, but hopefully women, the laws that are still on the book against women. Seriously. They outlawed 69 in many states, and there's many states that still hold that on the book as a law that you can't have 69. Ridiculous. But again, the laws that man created, it depends what religion it was. Christians, the Muslims are trying to create their own religion in the United States now, and it's happening for real. Understand their teachings, their truth. I studied it. I studied 14 religions to see if anyone understood God or anything even close to it, which they don't. Trump has a picture of an angel in back of him now. He's always kneeling down praying. God's watching over him. For what? That he doesn't kill people? Even that, he'll be able to do it. His karma's here. He can create as much karma as he wants. But as Jesus said, which was a real person, not an alien, and never said he was God, said, people, you should all remember this statement. It's easier for a camel to go through an eye of a needle than a rich person to get into heaven. I've been sending that to Oprah, and you name it, Musk, Gates, all of them. But they don't care. They don't have a God. They don't believe in God, and they don't worry about God. They worry about the word called money. Money controls everything here, but it's not needed, and it's been the root to all evil that we create. Even fighting, getting paid to beat somebody up. You think we grew beyond that? Of course not. I mean, in other countries, it's 10 times worse. They kick until the person's either dead or unconscious. So then we had what's that? Cage fighting, and they could do anything you want inside there. Well, in the original days of wrestling, they got paid to put a scratch on their head and bleed and things like that. All right? You couldn't actually cut the other person. All right? They cut themselves, and they got paid for every cut that they did and all that kind of stuff. But it was all programmed. And then you had people trying to prove it wasn't. But, reality is when you make money, anything goes. And the truth goes as well. It goes out the window. Lie, cheat, and steal. All right. Now, when we go back to the New World Order, we got the people that control whether the economy is going to go up or down, whether we're going to have a war or not. Well, no, nobody controls. Yes, they can. Who supplies countries with money? Who does what? Why? Russia supports their enemies, our enemies. We support all our people, and that's enemies of them. So we pay for people to fight for us. Is the United States a wimp to fight? Is Russia a wimp to fight? I should take Mr. Putin, put him in a ring with, well, when Trump gets in, who would win that? Trump's an evil person, but he would definitely win. Putin's a little guy. So, but when we go to China, we got a big guy. All right, didn't like to be called fat. We go into these things, but put them in a ring and let them fight each other. Why kill all your children? Children that aren't even grown in life yet, or even had a real relationship, or any of that. We're so evil, men in general. Men create everything, people. Women don't. And all through history, there was only a few famous women. I'm not talking like queens and things like that. I'm talking like Joan of Arc. And they killed her when she was, 20, 21. They were so afraid of her. So women are victims, have always been slaves. Love, the word L-O-V-E, never existed for 100,000 years, people. It only came out to the real world about 2,020 years ago. But even then, when it came out, it's still not truly understand and be able to understand it. I mean, people say, "Oh, I love you forever," and then the next month they get in a divorce. "I'll be with you forever," and the next month they get in a divorce. 5 years later, 10 years later, whatever. People don't have commitment, don't have vows, don't vow to themselves to be a real honest person. Morals were taken away a super long time ago. What are morals? Not based on religion, based on human behavior. I mean, all those things existed and being taken away. Why? We don't need morals anymore? Well, you can't shoot children. Shoot adults? Does that make it any better? Go into a country and bomb a whole city? Kill a whole city of people? That's okay? But you kill one person on the street. Well, that's not okay. The morals have become twisted, ignorant ideas of men. And where are we going? Nowhere good. We're at the lowest level, whether you want to know that or not, than we have ever been in all of our history. Seriously. Oh, we always had wars. We were always fighting. That's all the white man was programmed to do. And then with the UFO world and stories of the Anunnaki and ancient history and artifacts, they're trying to remold that into humans were created by aliens and everything else under the sun. We were not created people. We weren't hatched on planet Earth. The Bible doesn't go into it because Moses wasn't that intelligent either. He did 10 Commandments, right? He wrote them out, but he didn't like them, so he created 63 more. And they're all pathetic. Nobody could live by them. So you want to follow Moses? Go right ahead. The Muslims follow who? Gabriel? An angel? And Muhammad never even knew Gabriel until his brother said, "Oh, you know who you're working with? You're working with Gabriel." How would his brother know? How do they know it's not a clone entity, a spirit being, and something else? Just saying they're Gabriel. They don't. If you read what Gabriel actually said, supposedly, every third sentence contradicts what he says before it. Talk to everybody. don't talk to everybody. It's just like, I don't know if you saw Al Pacino in the movie when he played the devil. Listen to the part where he talks about God. And he said, we're going to make it so horrible that it's going to swirl up into you and you're going to have to do something about it, which is not God's will. If you understand God, you know why hell was created, where we live, why we're here. I do many workshops, but people run away the second they hear anything they don't like. It's easy. Oh, that's scary. Oh, that's bad. Oh, no, that goes against what I believe. What do you believe in? A man that sits on a throne watching energy of people, and if something's bad, he changes it. If something's going to happen, he stops it. No, there wouldn't be people dying, children dying, children abused. All those things wouldn't be happening. God doesn't watch us. We were given freedom to live here for a reason, to grow, but not to grow unconscious, not to grow in an animal society, to grow beyond it. Whether you want to hear it or not, Atlantis was when humans were brought to this planet. 9 races were brought here. All right. In a short period of time, which is a long time at that time frame, and our time frame, but compared to our history to now, 5 races left. And they were different colored races. The white, yellow, black, and red races stayed because they didn't grow in awareness. But Atlantis, mankind, womankind, did not kill each other. Didn't know how to lie. Didn't have to eat animals and all those kind of things. The energy level was super high. You could read and see people's thoughts and understand them. You didn't have to open their mouth even. So it was almost impossible to lie and all those things. It was incredible. Everything we ate was healthy. Everything we were breathing was healthy. And then races came down and destroyed it and reprogrammed mankind to be massive killers, animal killers, and all the other things like the Mayans, the Aztecs, the Egyptians, sacrifice, and all those other words, which are not normal or not right. And people think the Mayans and the Aztecs and the Egyptians were intelligent. They weren't. If you could translate the hieroglyphics in the caves, their writings, it shows you they had no clue about death, no clue about reincarnation, any truth about it. Aliens have very little knowledge of it as well. They live a lot longer than us, so yeah, they don't worry about death as much as we do. But they also don't know anything about God. They don't have feelings and emotions like we do. Kind of like the people that run the government, maybe? Who would get into your mind and tell you to go kill an army or kill a country or destroy, whatever? How's that happen? Oh, Satan. Satan's a real entity. And he's separate from aliens. And even in Congress, well, these aliens are probably demons. No, they're not. There's a separation there, even, people. Demons are not aliens. Aliens are not demons. You could say they are, but they're not. Say whatever you want. Aliens drive around in ships, people. Demons do not. If you see a ship land on your property, a demon's not going to come out of it. If you see a demon walk into your room and say stuff and do things, it could be anything but an alien. But mankind twists everything to fit his teeny little ego and awareness. And it's usually nothing good. It's programmed. 90% of everything everybody knows is programmed from their mother, their father, and the lousy schools that we went to. No school teaches you about love, really, protection, energy, and all those kind of words that we are needed to walk around, what we eat and what we do. In this world, never mind the worlds that you can go to if you raise your awareness and leave this planet. But if you're hung up on this world so much, you're never going to get there either. I do classes on it. I talk about that. And I'm willing to debate anybody on this planet that thinks they know the truth or says they do. The Pope, the Dalai Lama, Deepak Chopra and Eckhart Tolle, to me, are very evil people. They lie, tell you false stories, and take your money. Go to Deepak's school. And what are you going to learn? Now I'm spiritual? Now, whatever they want to give you a name about and who you are, you raised your level to a 6th level to being an entity. Really? No, you're the same person. Be the best you can. You are that. You can just change what you do for a living, and that'll change what people think of you. But you're still the same person. You could go to jail and get out, and you're still the same person. You don't become spiritual to go to jail, and you don't become spiritual to get out of jail. But even though you pretend you're a preacher in jail, they feel sorry for you and they want you to get out and things like that. But everything man does is to protect man. When I lived in Jersey and they let 120 people out of jail, within 2 weeks, every single one of them did the same thing they did and were put back in jail. Imagine that. Oh, the rooms are crowded. Well, don't give them so much space. Don't give them so much food. Don't let them have sports and entertainment, and people might not want to go to jail. I know in California, the jail system set up for the people on the beach, homeless people. They get 3 cards. And it's warning, if they sleep on the beach at night, they get a card. They do it 3 times, they go to jail. So these people on the streets, homeless people living on the beaches, have 2 cards. Why? Because when they get the 3rd one, they go to jail. So they stay that way until they know there's a game or something really important on TV that they want to watch and get 2 meals, or 3 meals or whatever. They sleep on the beach and they go to jail. They get to watch the movie, have meals, and get back out again. That's the system. Men can figure out a system and override it always, especially to make themselves better. Men do that. They care about their name, why the name is important. But when we talk about China, when they were allowed to kill women, girls and stuff, or sell them and get rid of them, but to keep them, you had to pay so much money. And like people like Puerto Rico and Cuba, Cuba, my friend was from Cuba. They charged him $50,000 to get his sister out, $50,000 to get his brother out. He paid $50,000 to get his mother out, but they said, no, she's too well respected. You have to give us another $45,000. I'm serious, people. People don't let good people go. When the people came to the United States, those people weren't good. So when Rumpo talks about anything, the people that came to the United States were the evil people, not good, loving people. And he says all these people coming across the border are bad people. Do you know the history, people? I do. My brother's son, who was married, was on the border patrol. Do you know how many people were dying trying to get into the United States? These people taking their money, riding them out into the desert and dropping them off, were taking money from these people, leaving them there with no food. And they were dying. Super large numbers, people. Innocent people, women and children, trying to get out of a country. Oh, they're evil people. They're all thieves. They're all murderers. They're all drug addicts. Yeah, well, what about the rapes and the crime that's committed in the United States by so-called normal people? The sex numbers in the United States has been super high forever. 8 out of 10 women will be sexually abused by the time they're 45. The numbers are worse for children under 20. People, we're not talking about just people coming into our country. We're talking about family men that are just out partying, drinking, doing drugs, whatever. U.S. citizens, people that are supposed to be good people. Oh, we're good people. Trump did a lot of bad things. When he hung out with, I'm not going to say his name, the Lolita Express, when he went to the Playboy Club, what do you think? You do good things there? Think it's all about being nice and friendly and all those kind of words? Well, Jeffrey Epstein had the names of all the people that went. And they said he committed suicide. He was on suicide watch. How somebody commits suicide on suicide watch? Means they're watching. Well, I fell asleep. I fell asleep? You should be put in jail for that alone, if that was true. But it's not. He could have taken out so many people, including Mr. Rumpo. But why did he commit suicide? Well, no, people don't do that. In the UFO world, 95% of people that are taken out were classified as committing suicide. The most famous UFO story, most important story for real, they said he committed suicide. But if you saw his body and saw what happened to him when he was abducted, when they went into not abducted, sorry, went into an alien base and had a fight down there, 67 Green Berets were killed. He was blasted. Half of his hand was off, half of his foot was off, his stomach was torn right across. Oh, he was trying to commit suicide. How do you blow your hand off committing suicide? How do you blow your foot off trying to commit suicide? You know, what they do to people that are, I'm sorry, this show's not going to last, but people, if you get to watch it, download it and then send it to everybody you know. I'm just saying the truth, people. Do you want to hear it or not? If you hear, fine. If you're not, I'm sorry you couldn't get here. But people that don't hear the truth don't want to hear the truth. If you want to hear the truth, you're looking for it constantly. But people, most people don't want to hear the truth, cannot face it, because it goes against every program they were programmed with. I was doing hypnosis when I was 14. I met Kreskin when I was 12. I learned hypnosis by then. I had all the people in my neighborhood, all my friends hypnotized. Seriously. Ask any one of them. Some of them are alive. But by the time I turned 18, 20 of my best friends died. Mostly on drugs, 2 on car accidents. So, people, when I was doing hypnosis, I learned a lot, because then I went into past life regression. I was the first person doing it with the name. I was 18. I was doing psychic implant removals when I was 25. And people didn't even know what that was. People didn't believe in aliens. People didn't believe in any of that stuff when I was younger. I'm 71, people. So, would you want truth? You want to live in fairyland. Oh, we're going to be spiritual. We're becoming more spiritual. What makes a person spiritual? Anybody out there, text me, call me. I'll bring you on the show right now. Tell me what spiritual means, really. Nobody out there. I've been asking that question for years now. Not one person comes close to even answering it. Oh, being a good person. What's a good person mean? You don't smack someone when he's yelling at you. You don't kick him or whatever. What's a good person really nowadays? Luckily, they pass bills that parents can abuse their children or they can go to jail. But the child has to come out and say that. The same as a wife can get abused and stuff, but if she comes out and says it, you can go to jail. But if you say one word, I'll kill you, guess what? She doesn't come out and say anything. Which is seriously the case under most situations, people. Now, my book, For Women Only, is for women only. Understanding a man's ego. Not just, well, they like to drink. Yeah, they like to smoke. They like to party. No, what really goes on in the subconscious of a man. The reason why I'll go into that, I was empathic. If you understand or don't understand, look up the word, empathic. I was able to see anybody's thoughts. Well, that's in your mind. No, I had it for almost a year and a half. What I did, one time a day, every single day, I would challenge the person that I saw what he was thinking. And they would freak out completely. Even on the street, somebody walking by. Excuse me, why are you thinking about something? What are you doing? How would you, blah, blah, blah. And they freak out. All right, that's being empathic. Not that I wanted to be. I begged for spirit to take it away. Because there was very few people that even had a good aura. And everybody has an aura, people. People cannot lie about their aura. People that don't let you look into their eyes definitely are hiding something. And usually, the best way to see a person's aura is to look into their eyes. And focus on that, and their aura radiates around them. And it's for real, people. And things like that, people should know. Because in the real world, you got to be worrying about your own protection. It's very evil out there right now. People are angry. And Mr. Rumpo is making more people as angry as he can. It will all backfire, even if he becomes president. You think when he becomes a dictator and tells the world, well, you can't have sex today, what do you think is going to happen? He only got nicked in his ear. He's just real lucky. A bad shot, lousy shot, whatever you want to call it, or was it all prearranged? Where did they take the person that was shot? In an army truck? Not an ambulance? Why is that? Where are these people? Who are these people? They're coming out now. Who are they really? The government pays people to do things, disappear or come out and say something. All people like Trump, everybody. Trump paid native elder to come out and say, well, native people love him. I mean, people do ridiculous things to win people over. How about telling the truth? Tell us, well, you won't be able to do anything if Congress is against you. Tell the truth. Tell who's running the country. Congress isn't. You're talking about old people, 70, 80 years old, know what's going on the planet? Ask them what fracking really is. Ask them what geoengineering is. Ask them what chemtrails really are. Ask them what the HARP system is. I guarantee not one of them could even answer any one of them. Oh, it's to help mankind. It's to help energy. It's to help. It's to help. No, it's not. It's destroying. Al Gore was paid millions of dollars to come out and talk about global warming, which we have, but he never said what was really, really causing it. Nobody does. Any email you get, well, pollution, factories, it's not that simple. There's 10 times more things more dangerous than that are actually changing the weather. We hit the sun with 3 blue bombs about 8 years ago. Why would we do that? When we hit the moon with a bomb and nobody ever realized that when it went bang, something was wrong, and it was on TV live until the ship got really next to the moon and they blocked it all out. People, you don't see the truth. They won't show it to you. Even when the United States said they lost all the pictures of the moon, Japan says, don't worry, we have them all uncensored. Again, now China said they took pictures of the base, they didn't say base, they said things that are on the other side of the moon. Did they show it to anybody? Did you see them yet? No, they're not going to show them. Because there is a base there. Same as when they came here, there was ancient civilizations here, there, and everywhere. And they were all wiped out. Why, people? Why do you think that happened? Why do you think the Egyptians were taken out? The Mayans were taken out. All the other tribes. The Zapotec, you name it. I mean, the Mayans try to say they brought the Hopi people to the land. No, they didn't. Hopi people lived underground. They're the only race on this planet to have a different DNA than all the rest of us do. People, the truth's there. If you want to hear it, do you want to know about the giants that lived here, why they were taken out? There were multiple giants at different time frames here. I mean, the book of Enoch was taken out of the Bible because they didn't want to talk about giants. Why do you think the pyramids were built big? For little people? What if everybody was the size of like mushrooms or something little? Let's build a building with a super big door. Why? Did you ever think that they have to heat things or freeze things that were cold or whatever? But people don't want the truth. And right now, ancient aliens have been talking about that for 16 years, and not one shred of proof of anything important ever came out of that. And still not. And they're still debating every second online, every day. Why they were built, who was there, they were built for energy, and energy didn't help them, did it? How many people were there? Where are all the bodies? Where are all the people that were there? Where's anything? I mean, when they find mass graves with 150 skeletons in it and things like that, how'd that happen? They were working and they all fell down at the same time. People don't want the truth. We'll never face it when it comes, because it's going to go against 90% or 95% of everything they believe in their religion. I'll tell you all my life, under God exists. Jesus was the most spiritual person to walk this planet. Never, ever said he was God. Never. And one sentence in the Bible says, well, I am, you are what you call me, that's what you think I am. But that doesn't make me that. If I go by the name that everybody called me in school, it would be great, but I'm not. All right? We are liars to ourselves. We are liars to the world. We don't care about other people. Even when your son or daughter is doing horrible things, you're still going to try to defend them. Why? Evilness exists. When Jesus told his disciples to leave his family, there was reasons for that. Why not bring your family? Why not? Why? All these questions, you have no idea what the answers are. And they're really simple. Most people aren't ready to move forward. Most people weren't ready for what Jesus was teaching, and still aren't. Mary Magdalene, people, was the most spiritual woman to live on this planet. Why? Because she had to teach the disciples what Jesus couldn't. Seriously. And they hated listening to women. Peter definitely didn't want to listen to a woman tell him anything. He would never get to see Jesus again if he didn't listen to Mary Magdalene. It's in the Bible, people. Christians, that you read it, do you read it? Do you read it with an eye and a brain, or you read it with a programmed idea? I want to show you something incredible. No lie. I just got this yesterday in the mail. I'm trying to get a book out of here. Look at the book. All right. Now, if you know the name of Bigelow, I've been trying to get in touch with him for years because my friend's ranch, we were going to pull a ship out and deal with aliens and the whole thing. And that's when he sold the Skinwalker Ranch. Do you know why he sold the Skinwalker Ranch? Watch the show. Watch the repeats. He actually says it, why he sold it. But you need to watch him say it, because if I say it, you won't believe it. But I got that in the mail. I said I'm interested, and all of a sudden I got that in the mail. It weighs a ton. I thought it was a box of weights, and don't ask me why. I said, why would somebody send me a box of weights? But it's about surviving soul after the body dies. And it's all these award-winning stories documented in all those books. So Bigelow was on the right track. And when you put that discourse out, the whole set, it's incredible. I'll never get to read all that. Each book's like 500 pages or whatever. I mean, I'm a bad reader, like a bad eyes, and I always hated to read. I will try to read parts of them and stuff like that, because this is people that had death experiences, and there's pictures of energy and work and how things. He was intelligent. He still is. And he's still one of the richest people here. He was putting all the space stations in space and wanted to go there. Kind of like Musk wanted to go to Mars. But he was doing it. He was putting these space stations together and everything else. But when I saw that, I realized he had a lot more going on than sitting on a ranch trying to deal with aliens. All right. I'm going to get in touch with him. I'll keep trying. I could some important things to tell him. I mean, I have to read some of the stories of these people. I mean, I'm not the only one that's attaining an awareness of God and the path of death. So the Mayans didn't have it. The Aztecs didn't have it. The Egyptians didn't have it. They had no clue. Everything they did was totally against dying and what you're supposed to be ready for and do. So in the past almost hour, I threw a lot of stuff out there, people. And I know nobody's watching right now. I hope somebody gets to watch this later on. All right. It's a weird time. I usually don't do shows on Sunday. Some people are in church. Some people are out partying and playing. But I will put this back online on all the sites I can tonight, later. But are you ready? There's so much going on, people. Aliens are here. Have been. Always have been. Not acting like we want what people say they are. I mean, do they want us to come out and say, hey, aliens are real? If they did, they would be here saying that. They do what they want, but they do bad things, and that's why they don't come out. That's why the government doesn't talk about them. The government, Mr. Eisenhower and Truman mainly, sold us out a long time ago. The human race. All right. Putin is the same place as they were. Putin actually wrote this and put it on Russian TV and said it. and this is about 3 months before Trump was elected president. I want you to come out and tell the world what really happened at 9/11. Putin said that to Trump on Russian TV. Then he says, I want you to tell the world what you're doing with aliens right now. Then he said, he wasn't being forced, he just put this out there mainstream, we're dealing with 27 alien races. 2 of them want to destroy the planet. How would he know that? And why would he say that? Because the United States and Russia have been working together. Germany on and off in between. But we got a problem, people. Aliens have been here, and they control basically everything that's going on. I mean, when they gave Tesla in in the 1900s, how to make an earthquake machine, which he did, 1900. You know what the government did with that? Enhanced it. You know what they did with the HARP system? Enhanced it. All the weapons he gave the United States, which was 50 deadly weapons, all right, the aliens gave it to him. He didn't just sit there learning about creating, going out of college and creating weapons. He was given all that information. Now, I'm going to take you a little further back. Einstein was not as smart as everybody thinks he was. He was stealing info from a lot of other countries until he had these visions, or what he called alien dreams, of technology. But he was fed false information. He was the one that said we can't go backwards and forward in time, where Tesla proved we can, and we did. So, people, the truth's there. It gets muffled, covered, changed, lied about, changed, twisted, remolded into something totally different. If you care, you're not going to be able to change much. You could try. We could change some things. We can't change everything. We can't make all people loving beings. That's never going to happen. But if you watch the movie, the original version of The Day the Earth Stood Still, if aliens were good, they would do that. Watch the movie if you never watched the original. It was made in 1949 or something like that, somewhere around 1950. And I watched it when I was old enough to watch TV. My favorite movie. Basically, aliens come down with a guy, and he says, you either listen to us, do what we tell you, stop war, stop everything, or we'll destroy the world. And they did everything to try to kill the robot and destroy it and everything else, and they couldn't. The remake, with Keanu Reeves in it, was totally ridiculous. But the first one was an important idea. If it was a good alien race, would they help the planet? And all we ever heard for 50 years is, well, when we're ready, they'll come and talk to us. We'll never be ready. We're never going to want to hear what they have to say to us. That 99.5% of all religions on this planet are lies. Created by man, not God. Jesus didn't come here to teach a religion. He only came here to teach you how to find God. And even that, if you tried, you were killed. All his people were hung up, strung up, and tortured to death. But are you ready for the truth? Well, Jesus wasn't real. Oh, who was? Oh, the Anunnaki. Another story. All right, false truth. Sorry, people. Muhammad's teaching, Gabriel, wasn't God. Well, he was an angel. And what's an angel? Lucifer was the most powerful angel, and he was thrown out of the higher realms for a reason with all the other angels, people. That's in your own Bible. Why? What did he do? You don't even understand that? And why is Lucifer considered the demon, the darkness, and people worship him as that? Because he was good. Good doesn't last on this planet. Almost all the spiritual people that came here, semi-spiritual, whatever words you want to use, were killed, almost killed, taken out, however you want to word it. People are afraid of the truth. People don't want to hear an angel talk or a God, or there was no other God than God. The first religion on this planet was Hinduism, and they were playing with deities, and those deities played with us like puppets. And if you study the Hinduism religion, it was all about sex. All Hinduism is just sex. All right? Nothing else. How to have sex, how to have more sex, better sex. It wasn't about anything else. All right? Do the history. Find out the truth. What religion was here before that? Worshipping animals. So they slowly formed animals and humans together, and then finally removed the animals, and then we had humans as the focus of the religion. But really, where did God fit into any of that? People didn't understand God for a long time, and still don't. They want to make God this and that and protect us and that. If God was this loving being, like they call it and say it is, children wouldn't be sexually being attacked, abused, sold into slavery. Men wouldn't have the ability to do that. All the things that God could change if it wanted to. It could make us all slaves as well. Programmed to do what we're supposed to do, meaning what's that? What are we supposed to do? Why are you here? I do talks on that as well, greatly, but people don't want the truth. Why are you here? Why do you think God would put all these souls in this hellhole? Well, when you go to school, you're not put in college, are you? You're put in kindergarten. Why kindergarten? I'm a smart, good being, so I should be in college. No, because you didn't learn anything yet. And then what people learn mostly is ego. Money doesn't help a person grow in awareness. People, I know you're coming in late. I don't know why. I don't know what happened with the time frame. But I'm glad you're listening. If you are, please send this link to everybody. Listen to this show. I'm going to end it soon. But thanks for anybody that did come in, even if it's only for 5 minutes. Because, it takes one spark to wake a person up. It can take 1,000 lies, which don't do anything to a person except make them more evil. All right. And they believe it. They believe lies. People will pay lots of money to hear lies. They'll pay zero money for the truth. And that's for real. All these speakers charging incredible money. Anywhere from $500 to $5,000. For what? What are you going to teach me that I need to know that I should pay $5,000 for? One person asked for $50,000 a long time ago, and he said he cured people over the phone. Anybody that was burnt, he could cure them over the phone in 2 minutes if they were just burnt. He was thrown out of the country, but he was demanding that kind of money. He says if you want the truth, you're willing to work and get the money to pay for it and get it. But he didn't have the truth either. Well, he talks about light around people and he showed it and things like that. But that's only as far as the astral plane goes, which isn't very far in the spiritual realms. All the realms beyond that are a billion times better. But if you go from here to the astral plane, you're going to think that's 100 times better than here. Just for what you can do there that you can't do here. You can't be killed and you can't die. So that's the first thing that makes it better than being here. But you're not looking for the ultimate truth. You're looking to have fun and all the words that keep you from moving forward. Hell, Earth, is the easiest place to learn what you should be learning if you really want to learn the truth. Because if you're happy, you're not looking for other things. Millionaires aren't looking for death and what's going to happen, leaving their children, leaving their family, leaving their animals, and their house, their cars, and boats, and whatever. No, they're trying to enjoy them. That's all they care about. Even Putin says he cares about his family more than anything, which is good in one way. He wants global warming so he can grow vegetables all year round, or as long as he can. So, we take whatever we want, convert it into what we want it to be, and then we assume it's real or true. But believe me, everything here, everything you're taught is a bunch of lies. Everything a spiritual person comes out and says, I'll say it to their face, they're lying. They have no clue. People in the UFO world talk and talk and talk like they know something. Never stood next to an alien. When you have the most big name in the UFO world claiming all these things, suddenly now he met with aliens and all these other things. The biggest liar there is in the UFO world. All right, people. Enjoy your day, enjoy your night, wherever you are. Please send this link if you get to watch it to somebody else. I'll be doing my shows more regularly on a Tuesday. So if you're around Tuesday, please tune in. Whatever you need in your life, I hope you get it. Don't stop until you get it. Don't believe you found everything that you need ever, because you'll never find everything. You'll find the next step to take to get to the next step that you need. All right, people. Heard it here. Tommy Hawksblood from the Big Island of Hawaii.